All right. Practice test 3. Simplify the following. All right, take a look at it. What occurs to you when you look at this? Difference in squares. I heard somebody say that you recognize it. Yesterday we did so many of those. See that up there? So how's that going to factor?
Sine x minus 3.
No. 3 minus sine x, 3 plus sine x. You have to go in the order of the problem. Okay? And then, all right, now what?
Cancel.
Cancel these because addition doesn't matter order-wise. And so the answer is 3 minus sine x. All right, that was easy enough. Now what about this one? Oh wait, cosine, cotangent, plus sine. I think we looked at one like this yesterday too. What do we do here? We're gonna change them into fractions. So cosine doesn't change, but cotangent does. What does cotangent mean?
Sine x over sine x.
Cosine over sine. And sine doesn't change. Oh yeah, we may have done this exact problem yesterday. You can't cancel, right? Because of that. So we can combine these two. Cosine squared over sine plus sine over 1. Now, I have this guy and I'm adding it to that guy. So what do I need to do?
Common denominator.
The common denominator. And the common denominator will be sine. So this one's good, this one needs a sine. So now they have the same denominator, right? So I'm going to write it as one fraction with my denominator, which is sine. Now, this numerator is cosine squared. What's that numerator? Sine squared. Uh-oh, what's cosine squared plus sine squared? You guys with colds, I brought a roll of toilet paper in. I don't know if that's better than those paper towels or not, but there's toilet paper over there. Okay. The numerator is 1. And everybody knows that 1 over sine is cosine. Perfect. Part 1, done. What does your test look like?
Same thing.
Yes, right. Now you may get a different order, but you know you're going to have 2 problems that you have to simplify like this. All right, next, solve the following triangles. I really need you guys to pay attention to the variables so that you are putting your answers in the right blanks. Here's what I need. Here's my triangle. It says A and B and C. A is the angle. A. It's a big letter, capital letter. So can we find the angle? Something.
447.
Subtract it.
I
180.
can do 180 minus those 2. And what do I get?
80.
80. Perfect. Alright. So then in the answer blank I put 80. Now I like to label it in my picture too, because as soon as I put that 80 in there, I see this. Do you?
Mm-hmm.
And that is my automatic clue that I'm going to use the law of sines. So sine 80 over 10 equals sine
53 over C.
53 over C. Pay attention to the letters. If you're doing 53, you're doing C. If you're doing 47, you're doing B. And either one is okay, just make sure you're doing the right letter. All right, once I do the law of sines, I cross multiply. So C sine 80 equals 10 sine 53. And then what am I gonna divide by? Sine 80. And I'm just gonna type that straight into my calculator.
8.11.
Yeah, I have to check. I typed it wrong. 8.11, that's exactly right. And that was C. 8.11, so that goes in the C blank. All right, now what? Same thing for B. There's no shortcut. I have to do the same thing for B. So sine 80 over 10 equals sine 47 over B. You're all busily cross multiplying as you should be. And after you cross multiply, you'll divide by sine 80. You'll type that one in on your calculator. And 7.43 is B. Okay. Problem 2B is another solve the triangle. So we are going to this time we are finding side B, angle E, and angle F. Now, boys and girls, when we are finding angles, we have to second, right?
Yep.
So remember, when we get to these, we're gonna be seconding, because that's how we find angles. But I think looking at the situation, then I'm gonna find the side first. I'm gonna find D first. How can I find D? Law of cosine. So cosine 42 out here, D squared over here. Now those of you that are thinking, how did she know that? Remember, if you're solving a triangle, you got two options. Law of sines, law of cosines. That's it. Those are only two options. The only way you can use the law of sines is if you have one of these pairs, right? Do I have a pair? No. Therefore, I can't use the law of sines. I must use the law of cosines. No other choice. All right. So what goes in the middle?
23 squared.
23 squared.
Plus 18 squared. Minus 2 times 23 times 8.
That's right. And in it goes. 23 squared plus 18 squared minus 2 times 23 times 18 times cosine 42. Did you get 237? That is the answer. You have to square root that. So 15.42. Right? Now we still have to find the angles. But now if you look, see why I like to label my picture? Because look what I got right there. So now I can say sine 42 over 15.42 equals what? Sine F over 18. Could I do sine E over 23?
Yep.
Yep, doesn't matter, pick one. Cross multiply. After you cross multiply, you have to divide, right? What am I gonna divide by? 15.42. Then it says sine f equals this fraction. Does it say f equals a fraction? No, it says sine f. So we're gonna have to second sine. $51.36. And then if I do my adding and subtracting, it looks like E is 86.64. Right? Okay, now remember kids, those are the problems, they each have 3 answers. You can recopy them on another piece of paper and practice. Put them in your iPad, practice. I don't care, but you have to know how to do these. There's a lot of points right there. All right, number 3. How many triangles are possible? Well, in the answer blank, you're either going to put 0, 1, or 2. That's right. No points for guessing, however. You have to do some work. So let's look at the problems. And they're all basically the same. And we need to solve.
Oh, okay, I see.
Just figure out if we can have any triangles at all. So what do you notice when you look at problem A right here? Law signs right there, law signs. So sine 58 over 6 equals sine C over 18. So now cross multiply. Now every time I cross multiply, I have to divide. What am I dividing by? 6. And now it says sine C equals 18 sine 58 over 6. Don't type that in. That will give you the sine of C. You want angle C. So what do we have to do to get angle C? Second sine, inverse sine. Uh-oh.
Zero.
You get an error?
Yeah.
So that means how many triangles are possible?
0.
0. And in the answer blank, you will put 0. And when I'm grading your paper, I will look over and make sure you have this written down. All right. How about the next one? What are we going to do with problem B? Simone and Kendall. What can we do with this one? Same thing. Sine 62 over 19 equals sine C over 12. So go ahead, cross multiply, divide, and then you're going to second sign again.
33.89. Yep.
Yes, Cam Jones. 33.89. Now what do? We ask ourselves, could we have another one? If we do have another one, that angle stays 62, but this one becomes 180 minus the 39 number. And that's 146.11. Max says it's too much. It's too much. Can't put 60 and 140 in the same picture, so that one didn't work, and there is only one possible triangle. Zion, you understand why I crossed that one off?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, last one. All on your own. With your partner if you need that. Let's get it set up. While I take attendance. Second sign this guy. I got 52.21. Okay? So then immediately I say to myself, could I have another one? 45, same spot, 45. And then this is going to be 180 minus that. So 127.79. Is that right?
You get two triangles.
Will that work?
Yeah.
45 and 127 is less than 180, so that'll work. So therefore, there are two triangles for that one. Okay. Again, when I grade your paper, if you put down 2, you're not getting any credit unless I see these two numbers. So write them down. That's how you know there's 2. All right, up 4. Now we're doing area. Look at the problems, and I don't know. Can we do number A or letter A?
Yeah.
An easy one?
You get 22.
It's pretty easy because we have all 3 sides. So therefore we know the perimeter. What's the perimeter? 22. Do we use 22?
No.
No. We use the semi-perimeter. Is 11. Okay, we don't use the perimeter, we use the semi-perimeter. Alright, now we set up our radical. And the first number in the radical is 11.
Then 11 minus.
And then we take 11 minus each side. So 11 minus 9, 11 minus 6, and 11 minus 7. You'll have your calculator, hopefully that's not too much for you, but if it is. Then, I want everybody typing it in, because I wanna make sure you're typing it in correctly, so you get the right answer. It would be a shame to do all the work and then get the wrong answer. Hopefully you got 20.98. About this one. This is the easiest question on the
One half.
test.
Side, side, side.
The area is gonna be 1/2, 18, 11, sine 41. And that's it. I got 64.95. So that took about 12 seconds. Now we're at the next one. The next one's gonna take a little more effort. Because
It's missing a side.
what do I not have that, boy, I really need? I need a side. I have to have a side. To find a side, I use the law of sines or cosines. So I'm gonna look at my picture. Looks to me like I could use the law of sines. So sine 67 over 15 equals sine 58 over L, side L. Would that work? Alright, so let's do what we've done all day. Let's cross multiply. And then I'll divide, and what will I be dividing by? Sine 67. Remember, you can't split these sine things. So you divide by sine 67. I'm solving for L, which is a side. Am I gonna second sign? No. No. I only second sign when I'm finding an angle. So 15 sine 68. Divided by sine 67. 13.82. Now, I'm all excited I got an answer, but it isn't the answer to the question. Because the question was area. Now I have two sides. What else do I need? The angle in between them. This is the angle you have to use. Your sides are here. Now the good news is I know both of these. So I can find that one by subtraction. Right? I keep saying something bad, so I keep not hearing it. What is it? 55. So area is 1/2, 15, 13.82 sine 55. 1/2 side times sine of included angle. So if you had found this side, then you would use that angle. Does everybody understand what I mean by the included angle? Okay. All right. So what is that? 84.99. please follow the directions. Draw a picture. What have I got? I've got a parallelogram. And we have done enough parallelogram problems that you should know the shape. That's a parallelogram. The sides are 14 and 18. And the larger angle is 128. So that would be this one. These are your options. And that's the larger one, right? And these two are the same.
Yeah, cut it out.
These two right here. And I want to find the length.
It says the larger is 124.
Are they right? Oh, yeah. Thank you. I want to find the length of the shorter diagonal. So, my heart wants to draw that in, but that isn't right, is it? I have to draw this one. And I'm finding its length. When I slice through that 124, it becomes not usable to me. So then I have to remember that these two add up to 180. So if that one's 124, this one here must be 56. Now 124 is gone. We can't use it. So I am finding the length of that side of the triangle. You guys, to find length, you use the law signs or the law of cosines. That's it. Those are your options. So, which is it for this problem? Gotta be cosines. So on this end is cosine 56, and on this end is x squared. And then what's in the middle? Right? And then I can type it all in. And remember to do what?
Square.
I gotta square root it. What'd you come up with? 15.43, and I'm gonna put a unit on that, inches. The length of that is 15.43 inches. Right, friends? All right, number 2. Oh, same picture, only this time we are finding the area. So I can go back to the original if I want, or I can stick with the one I drew over here. It doesn't matter. This is 124 and this one is 56. Doesn't matter which one which angle I use. I need to split my figure, right? So if I draw in this one, then the area of the triangle will be what? 1/2, 14, 18, sine 124. And then I get 104, but remember, that's the triangle, so I need to remember to double that. So the parallelogram is 208.92 square inches. Now, I redrew my picture. What if I would have used this picture? What would the area of this triangle. 1/2, 14, 18, sine 56. Type that in and check that out. Isn't it exactly the same thing? So when you're doing area, it doesn't matter which way you cut it out. You just have to remember the times 2. Okay? Alright, find the perimeter. Uh-oh, that's a little different. Find the perimeter of a regular octagon inscribed in a circle. Alright, so here's my circle. Octagon means 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's my octagon.
6, 7.
And the radius is 22. You've done enough of these, you know what we're gonna do next. We're gonna figure out what that central angle is, and how will we do that? 360 divided by 8, because there's 8 of them. So the central angle is 35. Now this is where things are a bit different. Yesterday, when I did this problem, I was finding the area, right? Today I'm finding the perimeter. So I need to know what the perimeter is. This is the perimeter. So I need to find the red. I need to find one side, and then I'll times it by 8. But I'm not doing area. I'm finding a side. And when I find a side, I use either the law of sines or the law of cosines. So which do you want to use? Cosines. So I'm going to have cosine 45 and x squared. It's important to read the question, guys. Gotta answer the question that's asked. And then in the middle is going to be all these 22s. What's x? What did you get for x? 16.84, right? Put that in the answer, please don't write it down. That is one side of the octagon. I need the perimeter of the octagon, which means I'll take that times 8. And your perimeter is indeed 134.70 centimeters. Good news is, number 4 asks me for the area. If that happens on the test where you're using the same picture for 2 problems, you only need to draw once. You don't need to draw it twice unless you want to. I'm going to use that same picture. Because it says that octagon. This time I want the area. So how do I find the area of that octagon? 1/2, 22. This will be the triangle. 1/2, 22, 22, sine 45. 1,368.96 square centimeters for the area. All right, now, I want to know what you still have a question about, like maybe a quiz or homework you got back, something was marked wrong, you have a question about that. So who has a question to ask of your group? Zion?
Could I ask one of the extra practice?
Yeah.
Number 5, to find the area of regular hexagon inscribed in a circle with radius of 19 feet.
Yep, read that to me again. I know I got a regular hexagon, which means 6, right?
Yeah.
Radius of 19 feet.
And radius is 19, and I am finding the area. Radius is 19. I'm finding the area. All right, what's the first thing I need to figure out?
Divided.
I need to figure out what that angle is. And hexagon means 6, so I'm going to take 360 and divide it by 6, so that is 60. All right, now what? The triangle area will be 1/2, 19, sine 60. So I can type all that in. And then for the hexagon, I'll take whatever I got and do times 6. For the whole hexagon, I got 937.91 square units, whatever that unit was. 156 is the area of the triangle. That I times
Did
by
the other
6.
one.
All right, Zion, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Is he
Thank you.
helpful?
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right, good. Anybody else? Any question? Homework? Quiz? Cameron?
I mean, it's kind of been doing it a long time, but it's also like a triangle.
Solve a triangle?
Yeah.
Do you have a particular one, or am I just making one up?
You can just make one up.
Let's see, this angle's 58, this angle's 63, and this side is 15. And I am solving the triangle. So that means that the answer blank over here will have a big C, it'll have a little b, and it will have a little a. Those are the missing pieces of this particular triangle. Right? Okay, when I solve a triangle, first of all, angle C, let's fill that blank in right away. What is it? 59? I didn't do it. Is everybody in agreement?
Yes.
59? Okay, we got points for that. That's done. Now, to find the other things, I'm either gonna do law of sines or law of cosines. You guys, that's it. Those are your options, okay? So you look at your picture, and you should see this, which immediately tells you, okay, I'm gonna use the law of sines. So sine 59 over 15 equals sine, pick one, 3. All right, go ahead, Cameron, everybody else, type it in, let's see what you come up with. You're gonna cross multiply and divide, show your steps so you don't get confused.
So B 59 with 15 signs, so you divide 59. You divide 59 by 15
It's gonna be,
signs.
it's gonna be B sine 59 equals 15 sine 63. You're dividing by this, that is not separable, that's a unit. So you're dividing by sine 59. Are you second signing?
No.
No? I'm just typing it in, and I got 15.59, and that was B? Put it in the right answer blank, that was B. All right, now what, Cam?
Live with the all cosine.
Sign 58.
I never use little cosines when I have that right there in front of me. So I'm gonna say sine,
Solid.
go ahead, Malia, sine 59 over 15.
And we could do sign 58.
Yep. I just do my law signs again. Cause that's what I do when I have this. I got 14.84 for that one. What you got? All right, we got time for a couple more. First practice test 1A. So it's one of our simplifies. Okay, so let's think about what our options are. So think about the problems we've been doing the last few days. One thing that we've done quite a few times is do the difference of squares. I do not have that, right? Another thing I do is change into fractions, so like cotangents, cosine over sine. I can't do that with this problem because sines and cosines don't change, right? They don't change. So, shoot, let's look at it carefully. Is there anything I could do there? I can factor. Now, it's not the difference of squares, but there's a GCF. There's a GCF. The GCF is sine x. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to pull out one of my sines. And what will I have left? If I take out one of them, I'll have two of them plus cosine squared. And then I'm literally leaping for joy because that is 1. So I have sine times 1, which is just sine. So, the moral of that story is, boys and girls, if you sit there and stare at it and do nothing, you get 0. But if you try something, maybe it doesn't work, but if you at least try something, I can give you partial credit, right? So think about common denominators, changing into fractions, factoring, foiling. If you have a problem where something is squared, you can foil it. Do something. All right, what else can we think of? when we're absent, we should watch a video. All right, here we go. What do I do? Someone said commented on
Go
here.
change it,
I
which
do that if I'm adding them, but I'm not adding them, I'm actually
is sign.
dividing them.
So you keep signs, keep.
So I'm gonna do keep change flip, but not until, it's gotta be written this way too.
Yeah, so it gotta be like cosine over
So
sine.
cotangent divided by cosine. That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
So
Cotangent is
cosine over
cosine
sine.
over sine,
Cosecant.
and cosecant is 1 over sine. Now that's a division, so I'll keep, change, flip, and what happens?
You can cancel off the
I cancel these guys out, so the answer is
cosine x.
well,